Bienvenidos a ¿Qué hay en tu inbox? El podcast donde exploramos los métodos más efectivos en el mundo del email marketing y el marketing automation. Jordi Puig, CEO de Digital Response, la agencia líder que ayuda a empresas B2B y B2C a desplegar sus estrategias de CRM y marketing automation, nos sumerge en conversaciones reveladoras con los líderes de la industria. Si quieres llevar tu estrategia al siguiente nivel y obtener resultados excepcionales, has llegado al lugar indicado. ¿Te lo vas a perder?
Hola, bienvenida a este nuevo episodio de ¿Qué hay en tu inbox? Hoy hablaremos con Maya Montoya. Maya es una canadiense que lleva 10 años ya afincada en Barcelona y que ha tenido una trayectoria profesional en empresas como ALOHAS, Carolina Herrera, en el ámbito del CRM y que recientemente ha decidido emprender un proyecto profesional. Se trata de alguien que tiene mucha experiencia en el ámbito del lujo y el retail y nada, seguro que lo que nos va a contar será de tu interés. Así que sin más, damos paso al siguiente episodio.
Antes de seguir con nuestro invitado, queremos saber más sobre ti. ¿Tienes alguna inquietud o necesitas ayuda para potenciar tus herramientas de marketing? Si te gustaría saber más o venir como invitado al podcast, puedes contactarnos en digitalresponse.es o por LinkedIn.
Hi Maya, thank you for being here with us at the ¿Qué hay en tu inbox podcast. It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so nice that you invited me to be on your podcast. Great to be here.
First, can you introduce yourself and explain what your experience has been so far regarding the CRM trajectory or career?
Yes, so I'm originally from Canada. I come from Vancouver. And I've been living in Barcelona now for 10 years. 5 of those years I studied a bachelor's degree in business management and design at este, which is part of the universities of Ramon Llull. And the other 5 I had been working in the digital sector. I started in digital marketing for a startup at Barcelona Tech City. Then I went to work in retail and fashion with ALOHAS, then moving also to CRM. Both of those experiences were CRM at ALOHAS and Carolina Herrera. And then finally, in my previous position, I was working as a product owner for Affinity. And now I have decided to work on a personal project, so it's a very busy and exciting time for me.
So you've had experience working in the industries like luxury and retail. Can you tell us about the main differences working in these 2 industries?
Yes, so in terms of CRM, I think they're very 2 different approaches. Fashion in general works around drops or edits, which are either new products that are launching or collections that are launching, which can be drops. And then edits, which is using seasonality or using different concepts to sell a product. So that could be Christmas collection or denim collection. It depends on, what the strategy would be. So I think retail and luxury, they both play on that, but the channels can be completely different. Retail is very fast-paced. It's all about, maybe reaching audiences on a faster level. This can be, doing other channels such as push or SMS or even dabbling in WhatsApp. I know Mango has a very good app and they have a very good loyalty program called Mango Likes You. That's a very good example, I think, of the channels that they use to reach customers. And I think in the luxury sector, it's a very different approach. It's very much about personalization. It's the special, making a client feel special. So there's still the main channel, I think, is still email. And they're not really going into, I think maybe they could be dabbling in it, but it wouldn't be their main channels such as WhatsApp or something like that. It's not in line with their brand strategy. So I think that's really interesting. And there's still a lot of, personalized touches they do, like VIP clients, how they treat them in store, special gifts, whether it's physical or online. So I think those are the main differences, and I think it's maybe a misconception people have with the fashion industry. It's all very fast-paced and production, but I think not necessarily, and with the strategy it can change.
While preparing the conversation, you mentioned the importance of data hygiene. Can you explain that?
Yes, so I think data hygiene is very important. There's a lot of focus now on all companies, I think, offering segmentation, personalization. There's a lot of emphasis on that. But if you are, for example, collecting data or, collecting your leads from many different channels, you can collect them from social media. If you are a multinational company, you have maybe, over 10 different sites where you're collecting leads from different countries. You could also be collecting leads from in-store. You could also be collecting leads from events that are happening physically. So if the company has, for example, retail, if they have stores all over the world and they're hosting different events in those stores. So there's many different places you're collecting data. And I think it's really important to, make sure you have all of those channels present, streamlining your data, understanding what you're collecting from who, so that when you are ready to do segmentation and you want to make, these great analysis and these reports, you're understanding what you have available, what can be, applied to each segment. You may want to do a very specific report on something, but you might not have that available. So then if you want to have it available, how can you make it available? I also think it's really, really important to establish a good relationship with your IT team, because you will rely heavily on them for a lot of projects and a lot of analysis that maybe you want to do in the future. So creating a good relationship with them is crucial, I think, in CRM, especially if you're working on a big team.
Maya, can you explain us what has been the main challenge that you have had to face in the field of CRM and email marketing through your professional career?
I think the biggest challenge I have faced in email marketing has been the product personalization, especially when you're dealing with many different markets. And like I mentioned before, you have these edits or you have these drops that are usually, you're basing your emails on. So not every product is going to work for every user that you have. And especially in luxury, when the price point of products is so wide and varied, usually you have like a beauty category and then you'd have a fashion category. The beauty category, maybe it's going from 25 to 100 euro per product, whereas in fashion, it's going from 500 euro to 14,000 euro. So the customer you're trying to reach is very different. You could even try to cross those categories, but I think that's the biggest challenge is that you have these, big database with coming from many different countries. How do I reach this product to those people? So that's the biggest challenge that I've had, and I think the solution of overcoming that is just really deep diving analysis, doing a lot of reporting, seeing what your customer is buying based on average order value, based on, you could even go really into detail of like the color of the product, the size of the product, and just really, really getting to know, what, grouping them. I think you could call it buyer personas, who are these personas that you are reaching to. And then I think there's also the personalization of the email itself that's very important. For example, making sure you have the correct translations for all your emails, going that extra mile, that you're not just sending like a Spanish email to Latin America, Spain, and all the countries that speak Spanish, because maybe, the dialect is different, words are different. Same with Portuguese, Portugal and Brazilian Portuguese is quite different. So having the correct translations is very important. Also, the content that you're sending, especially if you're working in seasonality, or you're doing holidays, or you're doing Christmas, which unfortunately in this world we live in, there's a lot of sensitive topics, and you have to be careful with that. So an innocent picture could mean so many things in one culture. So I think doing those special tweaks and just being really conscious, to those cultural nuances, I think are important. And attention to detail, which I think is something really nice in the fashion industry. It's very focused on, beauty and bringing beautiful products and beautiful images to people. So there's a lot of attention to detail, and people take a lot of time in curating content. So I think that's, it's nice. You can be creative with that, and you can also test content and see what works for, in terms of click rate, what are people more attracted to, and that will change based on all the different factors that I just said. So yeah.
And have you applied in your professional career any email marketing trends or some new digital strategies? For example, advanced segmentation, maybe incorporating artificial intelligence to the email marketing programs, something like that?
Yes, I've used send time optimization, I think, in email marketing. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of events in fashion. There's, you have the fashion shows which go on every season. Usually you have, you can have live events with different influencers. So you have to kind of plan your strategy in advance. And I'd say it's a strategy based on your segments that you have and also what your platform can offer, because a lot of times, you want to reach a large audience, but you may have these very large segments you're sending to that, your platform can't handle. So I recommend setting up in advance, if you're going to have a huge event like that or a huge send, set up a call with your customer success manager, explain to them what you want to do, check what bandwidth you have for sending, and then based on their recommendations, you can plan your send in advance, and then you will be able to protect your sender's reputation better. You can also do a test send before you do this, and then you can really see what would happen in the time of the actual send, and you can optimize, talk with your CMS, see how you can optimize that send when the real time comes. And also time zones. So think about your strategy in terms of time zones. Some people will be in your time zone, and it's just enough to send them, create a build up towards the event. For example, event coming soon, we want you involved, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And then, you send them live, this is happening now live, and they feel, special, and they feel part of the brand. You can't do that with somebody maybe that's 9 hours time difference from you, because they'll see that much later. So you would probably want to change your strategy there and say we're having this event, blah, blah, blah. Maybe watch it later, or this happened while you were asleep, or I don't know. You can play with those different messages, but I think using time send optimization can help you a lot with those types of emails.
So thank you very much, Maya, for being here with us and for all the topics you have shared. Really interesting, everything you have shared with us. So thank you very much, and see you soon.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Gracias por unirte a este episodio de ¿Qué hay en tu inbox? Si quieres aprender a potenciar tu estrategia y estar al día de las últimas tendencias en el mundo del marketing automation, no olvides suscribirte a nuestro podcast. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio.